Nobody outside the Midwest argues about Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And that's exactly why this fight matters. Because while America keeps screaming about coastal cities, two old rivals are quietly battling for relevance, money, and the future. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Both came from industry. Both got hit hard. Both survived. But they survived in very different ways. One rebuilt its soul. The other rebuilt its image. And that difference decides everything. Let's start with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was never supposed to make it. When steel collapsed, this city didn't just lose jobs, it lost identity. Factories shut down. Smoke cleared. Neighborhoods emptied. For a while, Pittsburgh looked finished. But instead of pretending nothing happened, Pittsburgh did something rare. It reinvented itself without erasing its past. Steel turned into science. Factories turned into labs. Blue-collar grit turned into research muscle. Healthcare exploded. Universities became power centers. Robotics, AI, and biotech quietly moved in. Pittsburgh didn't chase hype. It rebuilt its backbone. And you can feel it. Now let's talk Cincinnati. Cincinnati didn't collapse the same way. It pivoted. This city leaned into corporate power early. Consumer brands. Headquarters. Boardrooms instead of blast furnaces. Cincinnati polished itself. Downtown cleaned up. The riverfront transformed. Office towers filled back in. Cincinnati didn't want to look like a comeback city. It wanted to look successful. And that strategy worked, to a point. Now let's talk about how these cities actually feel to live in. Pittsburgh feels earned. Hills everywhere. Bridges cutting through neighborhoods. Views that remind you this city fought geography and history. There's grit here. Not performative grit, real grit. People in Pittsburgh don't pretend the city is perfect. They respect it because it survived. Cincinnati feels composed. Flatter. Cleaner. More controlled. The riverfront shines. Downtown feels corporate-friendly. Neighborhoods feel planned. Pittsburgh feels emotional. Cincinnati feels strategic. Now let's talk jobs. Pittsburgh bets on brains. Healthcare. Universities. Tech research. Advanced robotics. If you're skilled, educated, and patient, Pittsburgh gives you depth. Cincinnati bets on structure. Corporate careers. Marketing. Operations. Consumer goods. Paychecks are predictable. Career ladders are clear. Pittsburgh attracts innovators. Cincinnati attracts professionals. Now let's talk cost of living. Both cities still feel affordable, and that's rare. You can buy a home. Raise a family. Live without panic. Pittsburgh is cheaper in many neighborhoods, but geography and older housing can add surprises. Cincinnati is slightly more expensive, but newer developments smooth things out. Pittsburgh saves you money. Cincinnati saves you time. Now culture. Pittsburgh doesn't try to impress you. It wears its scars proudly. Sports loyalty is emotional and intense. Community runs deep. This city doesn't reinvent itself every decade. It evolves. Cincinnati curates culture. Events are polished. Branding is intentional. The city wants to feel modern and refined. Pittsburgh lives culture. Cincinnati presents culture. Now perception. Pittsburgh surprised America. People didn't expect it to survive, so its comeback feels authentic. Cincinnati didn't surprise anyone. It just quietly improved. That's the problem. Pittsburgh feels like a story. Cincinnati feels like a plan. And stories spread faster. Now the future. Pittsburgh is building long-term leverage. Tech research. Medical innovation. Education pipelines. Growth is slower, but deeper. Cincinnati is pushing expansion. Corporate growth. Downtown development. Regional dominance. Growth is faster, but more fragile. Pittsburgh is future-proofing. Cincinnati is scaling. So who wins? If you want grit, purpose, and long-term innovation, Pittsburgh wins. If you want polish, structure, and corporate stability, Cincinnati wins. Pittsburgh rebuilt its soul. Cincinnati rebuilt its image. And the city you choose depends on whether you value meaning or momentum. Down finger comment your pick, like if underrated cities deserve respect. Subscribe. City versus city battles.